listening to KCYP 97.7 The City. This is Scarlet Rose, and you're now listening to RGV Rocks. Thank you, Audex, for the intro. You're listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. This is Scarlet Rose along with my co-host,
Rockin' Rudy.
And welcome to RGV Rocks, KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. It's a nonprofit organization that promotes local artists such as myself and is the home of indie music. We are now accepting donations through our website, www.thecity977.com, and as well as sponsorships to keep this radio station thriving. For more information on paying donations, sponsorships, or business advertisement, feel free to contact Joe Martinez at 956-789-0702 or by email at martinezjoe@hotmail.com. If you guys want to donate to the city below, or you want to donate or even donate to our own podcast, be sure to check out the donations in the links below in the description. To people who don't know who we are or what we do, RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to local talent, events, and all the wonderful people in the RGV, such as you and I. I want to give a very special welcome to Joe Esco, which is also known as Elspukibuki. So thank you for joining us here on our show.
Yeah, it's Johnny Esco.
Yeah.
You said El Johnny Esco.
Oh,
I thought I heard Joey Esco. I was like, oh yeah. No,
yeah.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Elspukibuki. I was like, oh. What's it called? So how have you been?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
We've been doing pretty good. What's it called? Summer's coming up pretty quickly, especially on this end, because oh my gosh, the past couple of freaking days have been just like in the 90s, close to like the hundreds, and it's just terrible. So
yeah, it's really bad. It's so, and like the wind that blows is just hot wind. It's like a hot breath in your face when you go outside.
Yeah, especially here in the valley, it's like so humid. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to think about it right now because I'm like, oh,
welcome to summer in South Texas. That's what it is.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
All right. Hey, so Mr. Johnny, let me go ahead and start it off here. Let me ask you, what new projects you got going on today? What is it we're doing?
So new projects, Pints in Paradise by JOE just dropped. I produced most of the album, and he just dropped it, I believe, like 2 days ago. And it's everywhere in all streaming platforms. There's a music video to the single Shinin'. It's like shine apostrophe N, the cool way.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's on YouTube, and it's been getting pretty good hits, man. It's already over like 4,000 views. So that's
nice.
Pretty cool. Pretty successful project with JOE. So shout out to him. He's from Fort Worth. And on my own, I've been doing more the post-punk type of music, and that's under Elspukibuki. And so the story behind the name, I know a lot of people wonder, but don't ask. Because some do. So when I started growing out my hair, I'm in a group chat with friends. They said I look like Marco Antonio, yeah. So they started calling me El Buki, but then my house is kind of haunted, supposedly. So they added the Spooky Buki. So I was Spooky Buki in the group chat. And I figured with the style of the music that I'm doing, it kind of fits, the theme, I guess.
It does. It really does. Like, well, honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you, it's like when I first turned on the camera here and I saw you, you heard me tell Destiny, hey, you almost look like your dad, Bert,
Yeah.
The owner of the
I've heard that by another person too. I met a friend and his girl, and his girl was like, you look like my dad. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about these kind of, she's like, it's a good thing. And I'm like, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you are that, so.
Yeah,
well,
but then now,
dad, yeah.
Yeah, but then now when you're saying about Elspukibuki, I can see it too. I can see you standing on stage singing "If You Wouldn't Have Left" or "Si No Te Hubieras Ido," right? It's
yeah.
Yeah, I can see you doing that. "Si No Te Hubieras Ido,"
Maybe I'll make a remix of it. Who knows? I'll do a
He
cover
should.
of it.
Maybe give the original Buki a call. Let him know if you can remix that song.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be cool. That'd be something to consider.
There you go. Hey, and you were saying something about that you have are you gonna be dropping a song or something like that, or you already did, right?
Yeah, I have a single that I pretty much am wrapping up. I'm just finishing up on the bass line. I have a friend that's actually gonna jump on the bass for me, and he's gonna record me a bass line. So as soon as that comes in, I'm gonna be releasing that, and that's gonna be available everywhere as well. YouTube to iTunes, Spotify, anywhere pretty much.
That's cool. That is cool. Nice, nice. And you also do production, correct? You produce?
That's right. Yeah. So like how I did this project with JOE, most of the beats that he got on, I produced like, a year, some were 2 years old, some were even older. And I started getting into production because it was just easier to work alone than work with others, so I got into, and I've always been a fan of all kinds of music. I went through all the phases growing up. In elementary, I was like a little gangster wannabe with a lowrider bike. And so that's obviously, I was into the hip hop. And it was in middle school and high school when I got more into rock. And by the time I graduated, I was just doing everything I could musically. And that included production and DJing. I would chop and screw my own music, just, for my own listening pleasure. I wasn't trying to get signed by anybody. I was just hanging out with friends and, having fun. And DJing is what really turned into a career at first, because, people wanted me to DJ clubs or, parties, even quinceañeras. I was like, I'm not that kind of DJ, like, but I'll try it, and I was happy that I did, because now like it expanded my skill as a DJ. Now I can, blend from a cumbia to a hip hop song to a house track, and be like open format. So it's pretty fun. And same on the production. Like as I got introduced to different types of music DJing, I got introduced to like just different ideas of production, so I would make like a reggaeton beat with like a R&B type of melody, just try to blend it in or mix it up. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. And under Johnny Esco, you can find anything that I've released anywhere on iTunes, Spotify as well. Just spelled as it is, JONYESCOE. And again, on that, my last name's Escobedo, so I just cut it short. I try to just be simple with my names, not too, I still think they're creative, but it didn't take a lot of thought.
They're very creative. Let me put it that way. Johnny Esco sounds good, but Elspukibuki sounds better. I think you get more out of that one. I don't know why. I just like the way that sounds. Elspukibuki, and then you've got the face for it. Let me put it to you that way. You do look like Marcos Antonio Solis, / Bert from El Cine Rey también,
There you go. I need to see this handsome devil. We need to take a picture together.
I know. He's somewhere right here. I don't know.
He's running around there somewhere. If Destiny's in there, yeah, he's there. Hey, Scarlet Rose, you got something you want to tell to Elspukibuki?
Yes, I don't know if you can hear the ice machine in the background, but I'm gonna regardless of that. Since you are here on our show for the first time, we usually ask a question that usually starts off the interview. And that question is, what is your favorite part about the RGV and why?
My favorite part of the RGV is how close we are to the island. And why? Because I love to fish, and there's nothing like a beach breeze in your face, because it can be humid over here, drive an hour, and you get a nice fresh breeze in your face. Maybe a little sand too, but that's expected. But yeah, that's my favorite thing about it.
I think that's
if you go to the island part, you're gonna get a lot of sand, not just a little sand,
Yeah, you get it in places you didn't think you'd get it. I'll tell you that.
There you go.
No, I was gonna say, I think that's the first original answer that we've heard in a while, because everybody's been saying like, what's it called? Food, the culture, the friendly vibes and all these other things. That's like the first
Valley's
thing that
not very friendly vibes. Like, I mean, I've lived here all my life. I have gone other places. And when I come back, I'm like, the Valley is not friendly at all. Like, we don't greet each other at the stores. Like, I've been in Austin, I've gone out of state, and I've seen how people treat each other. And it is not like that here, like at all. We might as well be New York the way we treat each other, you know, like that. I mean, that's my personal,
yeah.
explanation on that.
But like whenever people say that, I have the exact same experience because everybody keeps to themselves. So
Mhm.
whenever somebody says that, I'm like, wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how exactly, and that's why I say the New York, where we might as well be like New York. They all just like kind of like, just walk around you real quick, like, and that's cool. I mean, we're tough like that, right?
well, that's the way we were raised,
Yeah,
fall
it's
down,
tough
get up,
love.
wipe yourself down, get up, and let's go right back at it. That's
That's
just the way.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times they do say like Destiny said, the food. A lot of people first thing they say is the tacos. You know,
Mm.
tacos. The tacos, the tortillas de harina freshly made. Something like that. But that's good. I mean, that is a very original answer that you gave, like Destiny said, and everybody says either or. You're the only one that came up with that right there, and that was pretty cool. I like that.
Cool, thank you.
So how long have you been doing what you're doing now? I know you say you started since you were in kinder as a lowrider wannabe or whatever on a lowrider bike. Or what was that?
Yeah. No, so like music, I've just, I've always loved it. There's pictures of me playing guitars like 4 years old, and I don't even know what I'm doing, but I've always just been attracted to it. And it's funny because nobody in my family plays music. There's like my dad's a very creative person, but in a different way, in the old-fashioned way. He builds things. He likes working on the garden. And that's another art form. And I that's what I see it as. My dad, I remember he made curtains and pillows for the house with the sewing machine, and I'm like, oh, look at this guy, that's pretty cool. And it was just him expressing himself or finding an outlet, a positive one, I guess. And for me, it came with music. And um big inspiration for me was La Bamba. That's why I wanted to play guitar. It was Richie Valens. Like I grew up with that movie.
That is
And
cool.
yeah, so like and my parents, like, they were young when they had us, me and my older sister. And they were going through their phases. And my dad was lowrider head, like old school guy. So he liked a lot of oldies. So I heard La Bamba besides the movie, like with him. And that's where, I guess that's really just where I got all these different influences. Because when I played in my punk band, like we would cover 50s music, but in a punk style, like the Misfits kind of do, like that kind of sound.
Yeah.
And that was like and that's a big influence for me musically, is like the Misfits and Metallica. As far as hip hop, definitely Tupac. My mom was a big Tupac fan, so I love Tupac too. So yeah, it's been cool. I started actually playing instruments and writing music as soon as I was learning like notes and stuff. I was writing songs with my cousin. My cousin was a drummer, I was a guitar player, and we were in 6th grade. So it's been over 20 years for sure that I've been doing music. My mom actually had shown me a picture or my flyer from, I think, when I was in 8th grade. And it was just like about a week ago that it was 21 years ago, because it was April 28th of 2001, that flyer.
Wow.
And, we were already doing shows, so like I don't like being on the microphone, which is ironic because I talk a lot, but yeah, like I've never been like, even DJing. I'm not an MC, I DJ. Like you won't hear me on the mic unless like, okay, last call, that's it.
Let you get on the mic, go Elspukibuki like that.
Yeah,
Right?
or that, yeah, which was crazy too, because I don't, like for me, singing that project was easy because it's monotone, like, I'm not trying to hit no like Mariah Key levels over here, like, I mean, Mariah Carey levels, or Alicia Keys. I was trying to combine them. Anyways,
There you go.
yeah.
Well,
But
it sounds like you have lots of fun doing what you're doing, which is really good because that's exactly what it is that makes you who you are. And you've got to have a lot of passion for the business that you're trying to accumulate to, and that's what you're showing here. And that's real good. What is the name of the album that you just helped drop from that other homie we were talking about?
Oh, so that one's it's called Pints in Paradise.
There you go. That's the one we're talking about.
Yeah, that one. And it's pretty fun, man. It's really cool. Like if you like a traditional East Coast hip hop vibe, like you would like that.
All right, cool. And what was and when and that one already dropped, right? You said that one's already released?
Yeah, that one just dropped like a few days ago, and with the music video as well. The artist he's from Fort Worth. His name's Jay. He goes by Joe. See, and when I met him, I'm like, so what's that mean? What's that break down into? He's like, nothing, man. He's like, I'm from the hood. There was a lot of Joes, like in his crew, he said there was one Joe and him. So like to tell them apart when they were calling one out, they would call him Joe. I'm like, that's it? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, that's cool. That's really cool. Like everyone has like their own reason. Like we think it's one thing and then they tell us and it's like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Miss Scarlett Rose, you guys you want to say?
I was gonna say, what's it called? It kind of reminds me of like the same thing with Jeg. You know how he goes by JEG?
JEG.
Oh yeah. I've seen that episode. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeg don't want to be MC.
Going into especially when you refer to yourself as Elspukibuki, what kind of genre do you see yourself doing? Because I know like your EP was just Spanish based, right? It was just kind of like more, I would say Spanish based, but then you also do some other stuff as producer where it's just like hip hop type beats. Yeah. Where do you see yourself going in that, like in a certain genre, or do you just prefer yourself as like an artist?
I kind of just see myself as an artist trying to like just do everything. I don't want to really limit myself to one or, but I am trying to just focus on one at a time. Like when I started, releasing music, I was really going into like my old like archives, right? Like going through all these things and finally I was like, let me just start new and I'll just, release what I'm, putting out as long as it sounds decent enough to release. And with the Elspukibuki, like this is like something new for me. So I'm really putting a lot of focus into it. And the first project, it's a self-titled EP. It's 3 songs. They're all sung in Spanish. And this next single that I have that I'm going to drop maybe within the next month, also it's sung in Spanish, but I have like 3 other songs that are going to be in English. Same style, same like post-punk, like goth, emo, whatever it's called anymore. I don't even know. But, I'm just, se me acabó el español. How can I say, you know what I mean? It's not my first language, but I feel it's a little more romantic, sometimes, especially when you're talking about love. This album is based off of heartache, so I figured Spanish would suit it best. But I try to just stay open-minded with anything, really.
It sounds a lot better when you say it in Spanish. That's what you're trying to say, right? That's what.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I love you, porque te quiero, like that. I can see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or even the ugly things sound better in Spanish.
There you go. You go.
So that's what I was thinking about because I'm telling you, it's based off of heartache. So there's good and sad and mad lyrics. So it's just better in Spanish.
I don't know if you've ever heard it. What's it called? Have you ever heard the Mexican singers, especially like the ladies, they like go off in Spanish?
Oh yeah.
they just go off. It's funny.
So, some of those songs were dedicated to me. I was like, whoa. I wish I didn't know those words.
So basically I be sometimes, because well, I'm an MC, MC DJ slash what I do, right? Everything. But a lot of times when I first started doing the MC and stuff, and I had to do quinceañeras and bodas and stuff like that, I had to start learning how to speak the proper Spanish, because sometimes
Oh
you got
yeah.
some people out there. You don't say me parqué aquí en el carro. No, tú dices en el coche me estacioné aquí. Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So you say me como la tortilla así o me la meto aquí. What would you say? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Johnny,
I had dated I've dated two girls that were from Mexico, and yeah, they loved correcting me. They loved like laughing at me, or we'd be at the cookouts and like I'd be trying to talk. I'd see the tios like this guy, like. But I mean, we're different. We speak a different Spanish here, like.
We're Tejanos, we got that
Yeah.
Tex-Mex vibe,
Like in
Hombre.
my head, I thought I know enough Spanish to like, get along in life. So in high school, I took French class. I didn't take Spanish.
Yeah.
And I started dating real Mexican girls from Mexico after high school. And I was like, I should have taken Spanish, man. Like I can't
Probably
write.
thought you probably thought you were gonna date a French woman or something, huh?
Well, I thought I could be versatile in 3 languages, but it's still one, and like the other 2 are like a quarter, definitely, like not even like equaling 1 together, like my Spanish is pretty fair. The French kind of wore out because I haven't used it in a while, but I was pretty fluent in French. I did 4 years of French, so I was pretty good.
oh my
Yeah.
God,
So,
Yeah.
so cool.
I
Oui,
know,
oui.
ooh la la, oui, and boulevard le français. No, that's it.
No. We all
Uh,
know that one.
Johnny, what's it called? You mentioned that you are a little bit mic shy. What influenced you to like get over that, especially when it comes to creating music? Is it kind of like a different vibe, or like did you always had it?
I think it's just like going off of the one time that I did it before. So like the first time that I ever got on the microphone, I was like, geez, well, I mean, I did it, like it sounded bad. The first time I ever did was at a Battle of the Bands in 8th grade. And we performed We Are 138 by the Misfits. That was the first song we did. And then we ended it with 2 originals. And the originals didn't have lyrics, but for that reason. And so like when we did it, like I sang 138 and we had never practiced with me on the microphone. So that was just like we winged it like with me singing, but we knew the song good. And I was just like, well, after that, I was like, well, if I did it that time, like, I mean, so that's always just been like, like just, and I feel like just practicing, like being on the microphone helps me be better. Like, but don't get me wrong, like I DJ at a bar here, and on the weekends, like if the MC's not there, I'm like, oh man, it's so awkward. Like, I mean, I'm playing music all the time. There's never dead air, but like when he's there, he's like, like he knows how to, do it. And I don't know, like I'm there, I'm mixing, and in between songs, I'm with the mic in my hand. I'm like, it's off, but I'm like trying to practice, like, all right, like, just, but I don't know. It doesn't come natural to me. I don't know. It's so weird.
It happens. Let me tell you, it happens. I mean, I've been doing this since 1984, and I actually started the mic like in 1990, to tell you the truth,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I just been on it because actually I started the mic because I started working at Fantasyland Skate Center in 1990.
Oh, cool.
And so I worked at Skateland before Skate Center, but I was just the DJ, and just playing music,
Yeah.
And then when I should I say moved up to Fantasyland Skate Center, that's when the MC started coming out and playing the music. So that's where I got the DJ with the MC going together and everything. And it takes a lot of
like you kind of like when you just have no choice but to do it. Like I've been asked to DJ events for at the eatery, at like public events. I've been asked to just DJ, and I'm there, and the guy that's hosting the event, like that threw it together, he's like, I'm like, hey, where's this guy? Like, we're trying to bring up the artist, and I find him, and he's like, hey, bro, well, you want to bring him up? And I'm like, that wasn't the agreement. You said DJ, not MC. So I'm like, oh, geez. So I'll do it. And that's kind of like how it happens, you know. Sometimes you just have to do it. Like, you're in that position. And I've been told, like, oh, like you have the voice for it, you know, but I don't know how to use it. Like, I mean, maybe I do, but I don't know how to use it, you know. Like, I had applied at Adult Entertainment Center a long time ago as a DJ, but the guy expected me to work the mic as well, and I'm like, I can't. And he was one of the first people to tell me. He's like, well, you've got it, just practice. He's like, go home and, you know, listen to, you know, radio shows, like, more than you do already, you know. So I don't know, it's still something that I'm not fully comfortable with, you know. But like, once in conversation, like, I forget that I'm being recorded, or that I'm on a platform or anything like that, you know. Like, it's just, I'm comfortable in conversation, in other words, but being on a mic is different, you know, when I think about it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that. You just lost me. Yeah. My little brother just tried to get a hold of me on the phone. I forgot to tell him twice, because everybody's used to us doing the show on a certain day, but today we had to do it a special day, right? But yeah, well, Destiny, you know why he's calling me, but you know. Well, but that's why right now when he called me, it blanked out and it froze on you doing this. Johnny, you were like this.
Oh my god!
That's how the way it froze on me. I'm like, wait, what happened? What? Oh, then I see my little brother's name coming out.
Did I
like,
look good? Let me see.
You were like that, yeah. You were like that, like you were really in the thought, you know. Like, I'm thinking about this, you know. Like,
the thinking man. Yeah.
There you go. Well, you know, my grandson.
I should have done that.
Yeah, my grandson's got this thing that he starts doing this, you know, and he's only 5 years old, but he's.
Oh wow.
And I'm looking at him and I'm like, where did you get this, Papa? He go, I don't know, I just saw it on TV. So okay.
Yeah, my daughter's the same. Like, she'll surprise me with some of the things she does. I'm like, where do you learn these things? But then again, she's got older siblings, so you know.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, my grandson's the only one there. Yeah, but I'm glad that that things are working out good for you. You know what I mean? And it looks like you really got your good strong head on your shoulders there, and you are improving, because there's always room for improvement. We're always improving every day. And the better you get at it, the better you are at it, and the better you become. You know, of course. And a good thing about it is that you got all these music talent that's coming out of you and stuff like that. And you don't just stick to one kind of genre. You know, you say you like to mix, you know, the hip hop with the rock and the Spanish and stuff like that. Maybe someday you'll come up with a song that sounds kind of hip hopish, rockish, Spanish all put together. You know, maybe sing it in Spanish. You know, but I'm just waiting for you to drop that French album. That's what I want to hear.
Hey man, you never know. I'll probably write a song in French, man. I mean,
I was gonna say, what's it called?
You know what? Thank you, because you gave me an idea. I think I am going to. So thank you for that. Yeah.
There you go. If you do it, just don't forget you got to hear with us at 97.
No. Definitely. I won't forget that for sure. No, thank you for that.
You can call it RGV Rocks.
Oh.
When I get plays in France, I'm gonna send you the screenshot. So like, you'll see.
There you go. Hey, I'm coming up with a movie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's bringing us up every single freaking interview.
Let's see, what movie?
It's an awesome movie that we're gonna do, me and Scarlett Rose there, and it's called Radio Man. With Radio Girl, and that's her, and we're saving everybody one down at a time. You know, and the villain is gonna be, who's the villain?
Purple villain? Nah.
Oh, purple villain?
The Jag.
And he'll make the music for you guys too. Yeah.
There you go. You can make the music. Yeah, but we're trying to do that. And then the villain's gonna be Jag. And we're gonna save Scarlett Rose's mom. And it's gonna take place there at Osina Ray. And we're gonna use her dad's does he still got that old car, or he's got the truck, right?
You hearing all this?
You should get Green Ghost to do a cameo.
Green Ghost.
Oh yeah, well, and we know Charlie Clark, so yeah.
We need to get him on the show. Actually,
get him to do a cameo on the movie. get him to be like the superhero that like kind of comes in on the side.
Yeah, there you go. We could do that possibly. Hey, that's a good thought there. Thank you very much for that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I gotta give you. You gave me the song in French idea. I gotta give you one back, man.
There you go. There you go. Miss Scarlett Rose, you got anything you want to say?
Yes, actually, since we are at the end of our time here on our show, do you have any social media plugins or any shout outs that you want to do?
I definitely want to shout out my homeboy Andy, Purple Villain, because he's helped the podcast stay consistent. Because I've had bad days, obviously heartache and all that. So like he'll be like, no man, like we could do it. So like we'll do it. So big shout out to him. And shout out to friends, family, anybody watching. Just stay tuned for more music. You can find all my stuff on any streaming platform. As far as social media goes, I'm always more on Instagram because Facebook is too they censor too much, And so anyways, on Instagram, my handle's at Elspukibuki. And that's where you'll really see anything as far as like song releases and merch drop as well, because I'll have like stickers and stuff and buttons. But definitely follow me on Instagram. I follow back. I'm not one of those guys, so and as far as the podcast, that would be at 9.56 ABV podcast. It's because I don't know if on Instagram we put the point or not, but 956 ABV podcast. We're on Facebook and all that other good stuff. TikTok as well. I'm trying to be more creative on there as well, but
boy, that TikTok is hitting like a wave. Let me tell you, a lot of people doing a lot of TikTok stuff and everything. And you catch yourself watching like the first minute. By the time you know, it's 2 hours later.
Yeah. And I work from home, so like TikTok's become my best friend. Like I don't even have the TV on sometimes. I'm just on my phone. Like, yeah. But again, thanks to you guys. Big shout out to you guys as well for having me on. I appreciate it and accommodating my schedule. Really appreciate that as well.
You're welcome, especially being here. Oh my gosh, you make the valley grow, because the more people that are on here, the more people know about like what's in the valley, especially valley talent. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, and thanks again for having me again. I really do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this won't be the last time we'll have you on the show. We'll get you again later as you get bigger and bigger. Now, once you get a big time famous superstar, don't forget about us little people here, all right?
No, I won't. And I doubt that'll happen, but thank you. Thank you, though. Appreciate that.
Hey, a lot of people move from the Valley to Corpus think they made it,
Right? No, I don't plan on leaving anywhere. Plus, like with nowadays, I mean, you can, distribute everything from home. So, I mean, I'm doing everything home-based. I have my studio, so I don't really have to go anywhere and record. So, looking forward to just seeing you guys again. Hopefully I'll have more music by then, and I'll have some merch. Maybe I can send you guys some as well.
There you go. That'll work. Well, I want to send out a big old shout out to, of course, my co-host, the beautiful and lovely there, Scarlett Rose. Thank you very much. And of course to you, Mr. Johnny Esco, aka Elspukibuki, / Birch Twin, I got to only because you do. I mean, I'm looking at you and it's like I'm looking at her dad there. But also a big old shout out to my two beautiful girls, Jenna and Darling, and my one and only grandson, Carson. And to all you beautiful people out there at RGV Rocks that are watching, listening, thank you very much for being a great support, and we really enjoy you. And we can't wait to do the next interview.
Yes. What's it called? I want to give a big old shout out to everyone listening as well. And if you guys want to check us out or learn more about what we do on our show, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Once again, Facebook and Instagram is RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Also, quick announcement, since next week we are being interviewed on the one and only Rock and Roll James PVT podcast. So
that's
go
awesome.
Check that out on Wednesday, because I think it's live, right?
Yeah, the 18th.
On the 18th. So be sure to check that out.
We're not used
Awesome. I'll
to being,
definitely
we're
tune
not
into
used to
that
being
for
the
sure.
interviewees. We're used to
Yeah.
being the interviewers, but they're gonna turn Rock and Roll James has turned it around. Him and Chaz, the Rock and Chaz show. That's what we're going on. They're
Cool.
gonna interview us this time, and we're not used to that. We're used to being the ones asking the questions, but this time we're gonna take the shots, and we don't mind. Rock and Roll James, Charlie Corona, we're on our way over there to you guys. Get ready. But are you really ready for us? That's what we want to know.
I especially want to remind everyone, thank you for listening to our humble show. And we'll be here next time on KCYP 97.7 FM LP The City. See ya.